What do you do when you can't stop seeking the validation of your narcissistic parent? We're gonna go into why you can't stop seeking their validation and what to do. But before we get into today's video, if you are new here, welcome. My name is Missy. I'm a life and relationship coach, and on this channel we get to the root of the issue and we learn how to heal and deal. So if that's your thing, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I would love for you to be a part of the fam. And if you already are a subscriber, I really appreciate you so much. Also, if you are interested in any of my coaching services, I will leave it all down in the link below, which you can go ahead and check out. Let's get into today's video. So in healthy families, it is natural for parents to validate their children. Validation is a very important thing that all children need in order to grow up healthy. The reason why this is because validation helps us to learn how to validate ourselves, how to value ourselves, how to feel, how to help our own self-worth and our own self-love. The way that our parents treat us teaches us how to treat ourselves. Not only that, validation gives us permission to do and feel things and that it is okay. Now in narcissistic homes, you didn't really receive that validation. Actually, it was quite the opposite. You either didn't receive validation at all, you received conditional validation or conditional love too, where when you did something they liked, they would validate you and be so proud of you, and when you did something they didn't like, they would completely abuse you. And even, they may shame you when you try to praise yourself. If you come home and you show them this painting that you made and you're really proud of it, they may say, why are you so proud of that? You shouldn't, self-praise stinks. That was a big one that passed down from generations that my grandmothers would say is self-praise stinks. So then you think that you're not allowed to be proud of yourself or say, you did a good job on this thing. So the thing with validation, we as humans, we need to feel validated in some sort of way. It makes us feel acknowledged, loved, and accepted. We need that. It's a human need. And so when you don't have that, especially as a child, you feel very lost. You're going to try to find ways to replace it in some sort of way. So if your parent doesn't give it to you and they don't learn how to give it to you're not taught how to give it to yourself, you're gonna find unhealthy ways to find that validation. It's usually from external sources. And it could be through positive or negative ways. So that could be through overly helping, self-sacrificing, gossiping. So maybe your narcissistic parents were a big gossiper, so you knew that if you gossiped about something, they would give you attention. They would maybe be, excited to talk to you. They'd make you feel validated in some sort of way. So then you would start to gossip to them. Maybe it was through weight. So you would feel validated when they would say like, oh, you look so good in that dress, or you look so skinny today. Or they would do with like your appearance too. So then you would try to find validation through your appearance and trying to perfect your appearance. Or even it could be that you would get into trouble because getting some sort of validation, even if it's negative, is better than nothing. These become your coping mechanisms, and it can get to a point where it's very addicting because you have this hole inside of you and you're trying to fulfill this hole. But still, even so, with you trying to seek this external validation, you still feel invalidated because it's very inconsistent the way that they validate you. So they will make still comments at you, they will show their disapproval, they'll make you not feel enough, they still will ignore you and neglect you. Narcissists are very inconsistent. So you will deal with that inconsistent validation. This lack of validation causes trauma. You not being validated causes trauma. So you trying to get external validation is the result of you trying to cope with this trauma. When you deal with trauma like feeling rejected, invalidated, being scared or sad, you will go into survival mode and your brain will do whatever it takes to protect you. So the way to protect you is to keep you away from pain, emotional, physical. Your brain doesn't know the difference between emotional and physical pain. Pain is pain. And so your brain will compartmentalize this trauma and your brain will put it in a spot way in the back, so that way you don't have to deal with it. And it's basically suppression. So it could be numbing or suppressing this reality. The reality that your parents are hurting you, they're rejecting you, and they are invalidating you. So this is a protective part of you. The protective part of you is numbing it. If you think about it in a philosophical way, imagine your brain is in different parts. You have the management part of your brain, you have the protective part of your brain, you have the fun part of your brain, you have the inner child part of your brain. You know, there's different parts. So you will have protective parts of your brain that will do whatever it takes to protect you from different things. And that could be through numbing, it could be through addictions, it could be through suppression, it could be through making you feel sick to stop you from doing certain things, it could be to freeze you from things. It's just trying to protect you. It could be comfort eating. It's trying to protect you from something that feels too dangerous to deal with. So since it's being numbed and suppressed, the reality of what's going on, you're still having this hole. So the way to deal with that hole is to externally get that validation and approval. You're not dealing with the core wound that your parents suck and they're hurting you. That's too painful to face, especially as a child. Your parents are everything. They're supposed to be there to protect you. If you don't have your parents to protect you, what do you have? You're alone, you're a helpless child. So we don't want to face that reality. So we'll do whatever it takes to protect ourselves from this image, the reality of how our parents actually are. Especially as a child, you can't reason and see things outside of yourself. We're very egocentric at that point. So instead, what you'll do is you will try harder to get that validation from your parents. You will constantly be seeking it, and you will beg for them to just love you and approve of you. You are begging for them to love and accept you in some sort of way. You lose yourself just to get their approval. You lose your true self and you become your coping mechanism. You become the person that's always seeking everyone's approval. You become the person that's overly trying to help everyone. You become the person that tries to tiptoe and make sure that nobody disapproves of you. You become that person because you're in trauma trying to protect you. That's not your true authentic self. So when you become this person, especially as a child, and you're constantly trying to seek that approval, it temporarily fills that emptiness, but it's not long term because it's not true and genuine, this validation that you're seeking. It's a very shallow, temporary validation because that core wounds, like I said, not being dealt with, and they're not truly accepting you. And that's really what you're looking for, is that acceptance. And then you're in the cycle all over again, just coping with it and doing those things rather than dealing with that core wound. One big thing that you may notice is that if you were a big overgiver, especially with your parents, you may overly give to them and you try to be the best daughter or son to them, and then they make one of their snarky comments like, you're a bad kid, or you never do anything for them. That may trigger you to go into a rage and make you become very angry and upset because that's them completely invalidating you. That's the one thing you've tried to seek their validation, and they're telling you you're not that person you're trying to be to make them happy. You feel that if they don't say you are this person, then you must not really be this person, this good person. And you needed them to say it in order for it to be true. When they say it, or if they said it, it would actually mean something. So every time your parents make you feel not accepted, it makes you go back into that cycle again of you trying harder or you seeking the validation from more external things. Because like I said, there's this hole and you're trying to protect yourself and you're trying to stop the bleeding. You're trying to stop the pain. So that's why you can't stop seeking that validation, because it comes from a lack of acceptance of the reality of what your parents are. So this craving of this validation becomes a hunger that never feels satisfied or fulfilled truly, because they never were true and genuine, and you feel that. So even if tomorrow, if they gave you some sort of validation, magically they took a pill and they were better, it still wouldn't fill that hole, because that deep shame and that pain is in there. It's already a wound. The validation, the constant seeking the validation is only a band-aid. So now that we understand that, what do we do? Okay, so ready? This is the golden ticket. This is the winner right here. This is going to cure you of everything. Ready for the truth? Your parents are dicks. No, I'm just kidding. That's not the reality or the truth. Well, that is the truth, but it's not the golden ticket that's going to make you feel better or the magic pill. But the reality is that no matter what you do, your parents are never going to stop invalidating you or making you feel worthless or not enough or empty, because that's how they feel and they project it onto you. It is not your fault for why they are what they are or why they treated you the way they did, but you have to accept the reality that your parents never will truly accept you. And I know a lot of people, logically, they can understand that, but you have to feel that. You have to feel that that's never going to happen. It's not because of you or anything that you have done, or is there anything you can do to make it better? No, like, you just have to accept this reality that they can't, they're incapable. They're incapable of giving you that validation. Once you truly accept that, that's the very beginning. Not only that, but you have to cut the cord. You have to cut the cord of trying to seek their validation. They weren't true parents to you. You gave them so much love that they didn't really deserve, because they didn't treat you the same. So you need to cut that cord and let go of needing that validation. Once you do that, then it will spread in other areas of your life, because this is the plant that seeds that constant needing for validation. Is from seeking it from your narcissistic parents, and then you seek it from everybody. So once you deal with this seed, the root, then we can help it spread in other areas. So what could help is also accepting that you're not going to receive the validation and the approval of other people, and also kind of jotting down and recognizing your behaviors when you are seeking this validation from other people. When you notice that you are overly giving, when you notice that you're afraid to speak up because you're terrified of what someone's going to say, when you notice you're sacrificing yourself in ways that are hurting you, all those things, and jot down those behaviors. So that way, once you recognize it, then you're like, oh, I'm trying to seek that validation. Then you can truly give yourself that validation that you need. That's when you can truly accept who you are and be okay with who you are. Because that seeking the validation is you're trying to make other people tell you that it's okay to be you. You need to tell yourself that it's okay to be you, and that it's okay to make mistakes, and you don't have to be perfect. Once you feel okay with you, that needing of that validation from your parents, and for them to say it in order for it to be true, will melt away. My light just died. Not only that, but you need to tell yourself, I don't need this to feel good. I need myself. I need to attend to my own needs in order for me to heal this wound. Unfortunately, your parents were supposed to give you this validation of what you need as a child, but unfortunately they're incapable of doing that. And it's not like other people are going to give you that. This is now your higher self, your adult self, that needs to attend to these needs now. You are the parent to younger you. And it first starts by accepting that reality. And then once you accept that reality, you can build upon and heal it. So what do you guys think? Leave it all in the comments below. And please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and share with someone that you think may need it. Until next time, thanks for watching. Bye, guys. Your parents are dicks. Everything's literally dying. All my devices are dying. Get with it, girl. Charge your stuff. We learn how to heal and do. What is it even? What is validation? Is it a tool? No. Is it a... It's not a coping mechanism. How would I describe validation? Validation is a very important thing. I guess I'll just call it a thing. Validation is a very... Oh my god. Gas is expensive. Why are you pumping the... Why did you just... You spend me, you made me spend. What happened? You're okay. What happened? You scared? Come here. Here, you're okay. You're okay. You're scared like mommy. Come on, do you want to go over there? Come here. Alright, bye. I love you.